Let's do it to it, honey.
And we are live. Hi, thanks for joining me on such short notice. Again, I wasn't sure if I were going to do a live today, but I decided, yeah, I better get to it. And you see, I got the green screen behind me, but no virtual bricks. Hit the bricks. The bricksters are gone. All right, that's because it's sucking up too much of my memory. It's sucking up too much of my time. Yeah. Uh, anyway, we're gonna do a couple things today. Let me bring up the chat. Let me start off by bringing up the chat to see who's hanging around. Who's here today? Let's see. Comments. Oh, we see Larry Lee stop by to say hi. Lady Me, Pinky Gray, hanging around, out of town. Luzon Isabella. No, that's where that's where she hangs out. Jaylin is here. Nicole Sekbuchi. Welcome. How's everything, Nicole? How's life in the big city? All right, so let's start off by Charam. Of course, Charam was here early. Crystal's Adventure is here. Makes great pancakes. Yeah, we called your number yesterday, and you left your phone at home. Of course, I knew you were going to do that. I didn't know I was going to pay. Who knew we were going to pull your number? Everything worked out though, and let's see. We got who else is here? Who did I miss? Tim Deziak stepped into the chat. Tim, how's it going in Pampanga? Is it raining like it's raining here in Bye Bye City Leyte? Raining cats and dogs. Well, mostly dogs. But anyway, yeah, we don't see too many stray cats hanging around here lately. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't suppose it has to do with the new restaurant they just opened up down the street. Oh, yes. It was one of those jokes to get me started. Hey, I checked the dollar to peso rate this morning, and it's floating around 55.4 when I checked a few minutes before showtime, which means that it's heading south. I mean, it's heading up. It's becoming stronger, but it also means that I'll probably hit my prediction. It will probably hit my prediction of 55 by the end of the year, Christmas time. Main reason why I think it's hitting 55 is because you have a lot of OFWs sending money home for Christmas, of course. But I have to admit, I don't see a whole bunch of people in the store shopping. As a matter of fact, I was in the Metro the other day. It looks empty. I was in DIY, do it yourself. It looks empty. I was hanging around all over town. It looks empty. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Maybe people are just spending all their money at the Dunkin' Donuts, but they're not spending it at buying presents for their loved ones. Food on the table is more important. Go back to the roots, the religious aspect of Christmas, and then of course modern society. Probably all started in the West. I don't know the history of gift giving. Gift giving is always a nice thing, but you don't have to wait around until Christmas in order to do it. That's something that you should be doing year round. And so I'll have to admit, I'm not a fan of Christmas. I'm not a Hallmark card fan either. I very rarely celebrate birthdays. I know there's some of you out there going, "Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad, Mr. Dan." But you only are born once. Celebrate that day and then celebrate the day that you die. Oh, wait a minute. That might not work out because you won't be around for that celebration. It's okay. I'll know that you're there. Hey, listen, this stock market going crazy. The Dow Jones in the States, Filipinos, I hope you don't mind me going this direction for just a moment, right? But it's so important to think about because it's coming to a bank near you. Listen, the stock market, the Dow Jones, everybody's looking at the Dow rising like crazy right now. They're going, ooh, ah, ooh, I'm getting rich. Well, you better get your money the hell out of there. You better do it quickly because there's nothing there that I could see when I go doing my research that supports those kind of numbers. You know, back in the olden days, this is how it used to work, right? Let's use U.S. Steel for an example. So you bought a share of U.S. Steel, right? U.S. Steel was making profit hand over, because they're making cars, and cars were made out of steel. And so you have companies like Kaiser, and you have companies like U.S. Steel, and you would invest your money in that. This is what later becomes part of the stock market, right? The Dow Jones, right? So what ends up happening, or becomes part of the stock market, I should say. Listen, I'm confusing myself, but here's the whole thing. Refer back to Dan's disclaimer, by the way, before I get into this too much. You would get a certificate, right? When you bought the stock. Larry, are you there? Do you remember your parents ever investing in? They would say, "Hey, I'm going to give you a stock of U.S. Steel or something, or Kaiser, for your birthday," right? And and so they would buy a stock certificate. Disney was popular at the time. Disney, right? For a kid's birthday party, you would bring a certificate, a stock certificate to the party, and you would hand that to them and say, hang on to this. It's going to be a worth a lot of money someday, and it was, right? It was. And so if you were the kid, 5 years old, and your parents didn't abscond with your certificate, you had the proof right there that stock belonged to you. But let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question. Uh, where do you get those stock certificates now? Why don't you get those stock certificates when you invest in the stock market today? Larry, why? Why don't they send you a stock certificate? You're an owner, right? You've invested, right? Shouldn't you get a certificate just like you did when you were a kid and you got that Disney stock as a birthday gift? I want you to ponder that for a little while because it's all phony baloney. You owe nothing. You own nothing. You owe everything. You own nothing. Basically, the reason why you don't get a stock certificate is because you get an entitlement to own that stock, right? You don't own it. It's sort of like a right to the stock, an entitlement to the stock. I know folks hate that word entitlement. Yes, it's just like welfare. You're entitled to own it. One day, I'm going to own Disney, and you get a stock certificate. Folks, that's why you don't get proof of ownership anymore. It's because you don't own it, right? You don't own it. And so if you don't own it, you're giving them your money. See, the system is all stacked against you. It's stacked against you failing, not succeeding, right? There's a point to all this. There's a point to it that I'll get to in a minute. Folks, it's an entitlement to purchase the stock. You don't own a share or a fraction of the share. That is all a bunch of BS that they've sold to you. Go look it up. Let's see what Tim said. It costs money to print the stock certificates. Yes. Do you even get an email saying, congratulations, you now own this stock or percentage of a stock? Do you ever get that? No, because you don't own it. Dear Mr. Tim, we have received your order. Thank you very much. We'll let you know when your order has been processed. So basically, how you game it is you got to sell it, what you don't own. You've got to sell your entitlement opportunity to somebody else, some other fool. And that's how you make money as long as you're selling it on the upside. And so this thing is like gambling, it's like going to Las Vegas and playing the roulette wheel. I love to do that, by the way. So you go to roulette, right? You go to the roulette wheel, and I'm only going to play red or black, right? That's all I'm going to do. I'm not playing any numbers. I'm just going to put my money on the red or the black, and I'm going to take my chances. Not enough sleep last night. Hey, I told you to go to bed early last night. LV, 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 LV. You're number one, not number two. Don't ever change. Hello, Charmaine. Hello, Aileen Cruz. Sek Bucci is here. And Shalinian is here. See, and this is the reason why so it's rising, but there's nothing to support the rise of the stock, except for the Fed purchasing debt. There is nothing behind it. In other words, is productivity up? No. Are import exports up? No. I said, I was looking at reading an article before Showtime that said that exports to the United States, are down by 12%. 12% is a huge number. People, they're going up in the attic and they're putting the stuff on sale in the retail stores. Go and take a look. The old toys that you grew up as a kid, that you knew and played with and loved, those are showing up, or variations of them are showing up on the shelves in the toy store to entice you to buy something for your kid. And then meanwhile, they are cleaning out their stock. They're cleaning out grandma's attic, and that's what's going on right now. Productivity is in the toilet right now. Manufacturing is contracting. It is not expanding. Don't let anybody sell you that BS. The economy is not growing. It is shrinking. Wages are not keeping up with the rate of inflation. I don't care what anybody says. You're the one that goes to the grocery store. You're the one that goes to the wet market. You're the one that goes to the public market shop, and you tell me, do you have enough money in your pocket in order to buy all the groceries that you need? Are prices going down at the public market? You tell me. I write that check every day. I know. It's a lie. It's all deception. War is debt, and we're a debt-based economy. And so the reason why you have war is because it's monetary creation. So you're creating dollars to float around the world, right? Whenever you build a U.S. military base, you're bringing in personnel to man the base. You're contributing to the local economy. All of a sudden around the base, you'll see houses start going up. People like Pinky Gray will start buying land and building apartment buildings. Folks, by the way, in that last video, I got a tiny bit. I'm not sure if they were making comments because they enjoyed the video, what direction they were going. But my perception is always going to lean towards the negative side, right? So anyway, I'm always going to think that someone's going to be attacking me. Remember, I talked about that before. And so a couple of people mentioned this, but here's the whole thing. I want to clarify something. They mentioned that, no, property is the best investment that you can make. I said, yes, I wasn't talking about property in that video. I was talking about owning a condo for the sake of taking advantage of travelers and then not keeping up the property. And I wasn't clear about that in the video. So I could full well understand why people misunderstood the video. I wasn't saying, I wasn't saying that buying property was a bad idea. I was saying that buying a condo and not doing the improvements, but sucking the lifeblood out of it, sucking every penny, every investment dollar out of it is a bad thing. That's all. In other words, you have to give a person value for their money. Now, the way to do it is buy raw land first. And this Pinky Gray pointed this out in one of her comments, saying it's my dream. She has everything in the correct order. You first buy the land, and then you start building the apartment. The apartment is for long-term rentals. It's not for Airbnb rentals. When you buy a condo, you're just buying air, right? You're buying air. But the condo that Minnie and I stayed in, I think that some of you didn't get the tongue in cheek of the video, and that is that I was disappointed because you could see that they're sucking the very life out of that condo for every penny that they could squeeze out of it, and that's not a good thing if you're the person renting it, right? Because there were some in that particular condo, there were some issues, right? There's some issues. It was not a dirty place. I'm not talking about whether it was clean or dirty. I've stayed in some really, really old hotels and motels in my time, and they were clean as a whistle, but they were also very, very well kept. Floors were they'd come in and they'd sand the floors. They put a new coating of shellacking on it. They were taking care of it. And so the money that I was paying to stay there was worth it because I could see the comfortable environment for which they were trying to create for me, which means they understand how business is done. In other words, in order to attract people to your place of business, you have to offer them something in return. What they're charging, the value of that money, you have to feel as a customer that it's worth it. If it's not, then you have a problem. And my tongue-in-cheek presentation didn't fly very well. It's all my fault because I'm doing everything in 2 minutes. And so I could have a 5 or 10 minute video, and I think that was, and then I edit it down so it squeezes into this 2 or 2.5 minute block. And why am I doing that? Because you aren't watching all but 50 seconds of it, right? And in that 50 seconds, you have to decide what this video is all about. And I did a very, very poor job of explaining that I was an unhappy camper because I paid too much money for what I got in that condo. And it was a slap in the face because obviously the folks there aren't customer service oriented. That was the whole point of it. If you watch the whole video, I think you would have gotten the gist of that. Crystals did because she knew exactly what I was talking about. She must have watched the whole thing. Others, they didn't. They said, "Oh, that's a nice toilet, Dan. Oh, that's a nice CR." It was. I'm not gonna lie, but it was very plain and it was obviously very dated. It hadn't been updated since the condo was born. I can't be in that business. I cannot. But I could be like Pinky Gray, and I could totally see myself in the apartment game. Long-term rentals, and you have to do the same thing. You have to give the folks value for what they're paying. Right. Bayrong De Barbero is here. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you again. Hey, so here's the whole thing. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? I know. Some of you are busy making breakfast. Yeah, Sissy Beth is here. Beth is here. Beth Beltran, welcome. She has an infectious laugh. Beth, you have one of the most infectious laughs of anybody that I know. It's natural. It's all natural. You just must be happy all the time, 24/7. Yes, indeed. Yes, thank you so much, Crystal, for watching the whole video and then making a comment that makes sense to me, in there. I know there are games going on. Dan, I got to get in and get out. I got 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 other videos that I got to watch and make a comment in. I understand that. I appreciate it. I appreciate the people that support me that way. I really do. No. I'm not complaining. No, I'm not complaining. I'm thanking you for being there, that basically. But I'm also sharing my honest reaction to the comments. I know. I don't answer everybody's comments directly, but I certainly read them. I certainly will read them, and I think I have pretty good insight. You know, I think I know the communication effort that you're making. The effort that you're making to support me is truly appreciated. I've said that. Now, what's next? Let's talk about 123 Taro. We pulled his number yesterday, and 123 Taro was not around. We pulled your number one. Don't ever change, Taro. Don't ever change. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what else I want to talk about. Oh yeah. Okay. Renting versus buying, right? Renting versus buying. A lot of people don't know, this is truly hits home in the Philippines, right? Because this is the dilemma that big business is going to have in the Philippines. Culturally, we don't do business that way exactly. We do businesses. It's still mostly on a cash basis, even though BPO is advertising, come in, get your credit card. We'll give you credit. Don't have a job? Don't worry about it. Come on in. We're going to give you credit, and they'll start you off probably with a low balance to see how you do. Are you making your payments on time? And then afterwards, yeah, you're present. Yeah. And then afterwards, fill up your credit limit. It's a trick. It's a game. Don't pay the usury on credit cards. You get a little bit older and then you realize that you have screwed up. And weren't for the grace of God, or however you want to frame it, I would still be heavily in debt. But the luck of the draw went my way. Ha! It sucks to be you. It's a very nice position to be in over here on this side where Dan is. So here's the thing. Don't go into Home Credit and buy a TV set. Over time, they're going to bleed you dry. You're going to cheat your family out of money. You're cheating your family out of food on the table. It's better to ask for help from other people via YouTube. Start a YouTube channel. Ask Tim for help. No, Tim, I apologize. Ask whoever you want for help. Yes, at least they had the bum gun. Exactly. Without a bum gun, it would have been a total negative review. But I have stayed at places without a bum gun, and it just pisses me off. I don't know. Get it? CR pisses me off. Never mind. I don't know where I get this stuff. I really don't. It just comes pouring out of the mouth like diarrhea. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that word on YouTube? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Diarrhea, diarrhea, diarrhea. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful laugh. Yes, indeed. Aileen Cruz Official. And why does she have that name? Because she's officially Aileen Cruz. That's why. All right, so let's move on. So, as everybody has been sold on media, there's a housing crisis going on in the United States. Hell, there's a bigger housing crisis brewing here in the Philippines. But the reason why it's not going to affect the Philippines the way it will the United States is because we don't care in the Philippines, because we can go over to grandma's land, and even though it's not totally level, we can still build a house. Grandma will let us build a house on her land, a soft material house, because it doesn't make sense to build something solid, especially if you're nomadic. If you move around a little bit, grandma gets mad at you every couple of years, then she kicks you off her land. Then you go over to cousin John's house. Cousin John will give you a small plot of land so you could set up shop. So they build soft material houses here, no mortgage payments. They need money. Usually you need money for to build your concrete foundation, because most people don't want a dirt floor in their house. They want to have a nice, and they need money to build a CR, proper CR, an outdoor CR. And usually people are pretty good about doing those things. But basically, and the outdoor kitchen, basically you have those three items. If you have the concrete floor, soft material house, you have the proper working constructed CR, and the outdoor kitchen, you're pretty much good to go. That's life in the Philippines. That's why I moved here. So you don't have 30-year mortgages like what's going on in the United States. And this is a temporary condition because you're going to have 80 million. First of all, here's a misnomer. 40% of post-war baby boomers, guys that were born in my population cohort group, own their homes without a mortgage. 60% have a mortgage, and a lot of them, a high percentage of them, are carrying that mortgage into retirement. It will affect their retirement dollar. It's going to affect their standard of living because they're going to have to continue servicing that debt. Folks, I'm sharing Dan's, the world according to Dan with you, my own opinion. It's better to rent. It's better to rent or move to the Philippines and offer somebody an opportunity. How do you do that? You go to the Philippines, you find some agricultural land, and you go out in the back 40 and you say, hey, I'll watch the land to make sure somebody doesn't steal the groceries if you allow me to build a house here, a soft material house. And they will say yes. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes, and they're going to ask for a little something. And you'll say, hey, I'll give you $50 per month, American. I will make sure to be a good steward of the land. I'll take care of the house, make sure that I'll keep you happy. Please allow me to build a house on your land. And they will say, okay, go on over there. And then for $2,500, you end up $2,500 to $5,000. You build the house. You live in there happily ever after, and your landlord is kept happy because you're a steward of the land. They're missing fewer groceries. And hey, kid, get away from there. Drop that coconut. Why I oughta get off my lawn. You're perfect for it. Everybody is happy. That's what I'm saying. And it works the same way in the United States. Look at the balance sheet. Okay, if you're paying rent, listen, if you bought a house and you're in your 50s, then you must be planning on living till 80 because you have to retire that mortgage, right? I'll explain why in a moment, right? But yet, so you must have an expectation you're going to have a long life. The expectation might be valid. I don't know. I don't know your history. I don't know your genetics of your family. Right? The first thing you're going to do is, oh, yeah, I'm going to go out and buy a house at 50. I'll have it paid off when I'm 80. That's great, right? You better have it paid off before you die. Otherwise, your kids are going to inherit a mortgage for which they don't want and they can't afford to pay. I've seen this happen so many times in the United States. So in the Philippines, cash is king still, thank God. Don't get sucked into time payments for anything. Do not have a mortgage, but Dan encourages you to pay rent. Even if they aren't asking for rent, they say, just watch the land. Make sure no kids walk off with my coconuts. And then what you do is, and then you pay them a little something, even if they don't ask for it. Even if they're happy the way things are, you pay them rent. And be a good steward of the land. And that's how you game this system. That's how you do it. I don't have any credit cards. That's the number one thing. Don't get a credit card. It's evil. It's inherently evil. It doesn't make any sense. If you want to buy something, you save for it just like everybody else. Save the money for it, and then when you have enough, you go out there and you buy what you wanted, what your goal is, right? Put a picture on the wall. Put a picture on the wall of whatever it is that you want. A Swatch watch. I don't know why anyone would want a Mickey Mouse swatch. Yeah. Actually, they have the Simpsons swatch on sale right now at Mall of Asia. Yeah, but one of them is not Homer, and so I kind of laughed at him. I went, "Don't!" What? You don't have any Homer watches? Don't! I said, I bet you haven't sold very many of those Simpson collection watches, have you? Well, tell you the truth, sir, no, we haven't. Well, it's because you don't have Homer and you don't have Bart. You have to at least have Bart and Homer there, right? Oh, people just drive me crazy. Jarius and Mangadan Gabi. Did the earthquake catch you off guard? Yeah, so let's talk about the earthquake. Oh, wait. Let me finish my subject on the house. Folks, it's better to rent than it is to buy, and I'll tell you why. It's because, first of all, you don't have to buy anybody's crap about a home being an investment. I'll bet you it was a great investment in 2008, huh? When you took the keys back to the bank. Yeah, and they let you off the hook. Do you think they're going to let you off the hook again? I don't think so, because what a lot of people don't know is the bank owns that home until you do, which simply means that anytime they want, they can call in that mortgage note and they could say, hey, Dan, Dan, we've liked you. You made your payments on time, but we need cash because our bank is going broke. Can you kick us down the rest of the money for the payment? And then guess what you have to do? You have to go out and find another bank willing to take over that note, right? You have to find another bank that's willing to take. Oh, you're saying it can't happen? You're saying that it can happen. Okay. The world according to Dan. Bet me that it won't happen. Bet me that it's not going to happen. They're not going to knock on the door, the MIBs, and they're going to say, hi, we're from the bank. And guess what we're here to do? We're here to get our paycheck because our bank is going broke and we need our cash back. You'll have the house and we'll have your cash. And you're going to be standing there going, I ain't got no money. I go, well, then you ain't got no house. See what I'm saying? You're going to have 30 days to get out. We'll throw you $1,000 for moving expenses, but you have to get the hell out of our house. A lot of people think that can happen, but it most certainly can. You ever sit down and read your own mortgage contract? If you haven't, then you're just like me. You thought I was going to say that I read every single word, right? I did not. I signed it like an idiot, just like everybody else, only to find out later that I never owned this house. What a surprise. And so why is it better to rent? Why is it better to live Filipino style? That's the question. Well, you have to go and you have to buy. I'm not saying don't buy a house. You have to pay cash for it. That's what I'm saying. You have to go in and pay cash for it. You have to own you have to have the land and the house paid for cash, right? Or rent. Why is it good? Is it okay to rent? Because anytime that you cannot afford to pay the rent, you just move to a place where you can afford to pay it. It's simple. It's simple math. I hate to sound arrogant, but I am. And so it's simple math. You just move from one place to the next. The landlord's going to come by and say, Dan, you haven't paid your rent in a couple of months. It's coming. And you try and squeeze as many months out of them free as you can. And then when they come with the eviction notice, you just be very kind and accept the eviction notice and have the next place lined up. Because I guarantee you there's going to come a time where supply is going to outstrip demand. And that time is coming soon. That time is coming now. You could already see vacancy rates are starting to climb and rents are starting to decline. And so the reason why it works is because look at your balance sheet, right? Assets versus liability. A mortgage is a liability. Rent is not. Rent's not an asset. It's neutral. See what I'm saying? So Filipinos have this down, except my greatest fear is you want a piece of American culture. And that means that you're buying into this whole American dream thing, and that's dangerous. This whole American dream thing is dangerous. So you avoid that like the plague, and just accept that you're going to be raising your family on the plot of land owned by one of your relatives, and you're going to be good stewards of the land, and you're going to grow some food and share it with your neighbors and share it with your landlord. That's how you do it. See, and then all is right in the world, and you have a great life. And any extra money you come up with, you put it in another hard asset. You just keep putting that money in your mattress until you have enough money to buy another piece of land and pay cash for it. I lost my house when I got divorced. Well, things happen. Usually there are trade-offs. You get the house, I get the pension fund, that sort of thing. That's kind of the situation a friend of mine was in, and it worked out great for him in 2008, because then all of a sudden he got the pension fund and didn't suffer the losses that his ex-wife did on the house. Yeah, folks, don't sell when the price of the house is low. You sell when it's high. So millennials have figured all this stuff out, by the way. Okay, they only give 4 hours of their time to an employer, and they're forming multiple streams of income, just like a Filipino. So they'll give one employer 4 hours of their time. Any more than that, and it ain't worth it, even at 1,000 pesos per hour, which is what they're paying. Fast food employees are paying right now in the United States up to 1,000 pesos per hour equivalent, Larice. Mark my words, there will be a fast food visa that's going to be available to all Filipinos. You're going to have an opportunity to move to the United States to work for McDonald's at 1,000 pesos per hour. Will you take that job? I recommend that you do, but you approach it cautiously. When these visas become available, yes, they're not available. Of course, no one's talking about it. Only Dan is talking about it. That's because millennials don't want to work full time, not for 1,000 pesos per hour, not for any amount of money. They want to go do different things, right? They're built differently. They want to spend more time with their family because family is important to them. They want to spend more time doing other things. They just want enough money in order to meet the nut. They just want enough money in order to make the world go around, and they're happy. They're not concerned about Social Security, 457Ks, 401Ks, and IRAs. They're not concerned about that. What they're concerned about is having a smile on their face every day, the single most important thing on this planet, and sharing that smile with everybody that they meet on a daily basis. That's what they're interested in. They're not even interested in higher education right now. They're interested in smiles. Smiles have value. Smiles is the new economy. Dan, the grumpy old man. So that's what happens when you get older. You get a little bit of grumpiness in you. Get off my back 40. Hey, Mark is in the house. Hi, Mark. How's it going? Did you get that scrap metal that you were hunting down the other day? I don't have credit cards, only credit. Well, it's the same thing. People are trying to sell you this idea nowadays, Crystals, that a house is smart credit. There's nothing smarter than paying for a house in cash. There's nothing smarter than buying all the things that you need and want and desire with cash. Right? That's how you flip the economy. How you flip the economy, how it changes is when you stop buying things on credit. That's how it changes. And of course, it's going to be very painful because they will knock on your door and take your things. Yeah, I'm not so concerned. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, right? Whole bunch of crap going around on YouTube about. There's a whole bunch of crap being fed to you about commodities and things like that. Oil is the thing that catches my attention. You know, oil's going up, 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 up. Oh, yes, it had a little bit of a dip, but it's going up. Folks, let me ask you a question. Who in the hell is driving? If 70 million people are going to be retiring, you know, and the rest, the millennials, are moving closer to the work, in other words, they're living where they work, how in the hell is it in your mind that you're going to need oil to make your world go around? You know, you have some brilliant minds that are trying to show you how to work the commodities market. You have some brilliant minds. I mean, the most intelligent, genius people that I've ever seen coming out with these flow charts showing you how you could get rich in the commodities market. And I've got to say this to you. You know what I want to do. You know, quit brainwashing people. It's supply and demand. It always has been and always will. This is why what's happening in the stock market right now doesn't make any damn sense. This is how I know it's all phony baloney. You know, it's because they aren't producing anything that justifies those those elevated stock prices. They're not doing anything. Folks, go do your own research and find out they're not doing anything. They're stealing from you. They should go to jail for it. They should go to prison for fraud. Right? You're causing your own demise by investing in the stock market. You're going to create your own. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of doom. It's worse than Armageddon. Don't do it. I'm begging you, don't do it. Do not invest one nickel in oil. Do not. You'll be sorry. Some of the greatest minds are saying oil, oil, oil. Really? Really? You think that they're going to allow me to drive my polluter in any city in America, any major city around the world? You think they're going to want my polluter in Manila? Hell, I was there. I saw it. They're restricting access all over the place. That's how they do when they want change. There's certain parts that most of you know, if you live near Manila, BGC, you cannot ride a diesel that is not a brand new one, you know, brand new one with all the bells and whistles on it and the smog cleaners on it. You can't drive that in certain areas of BGC or Makati. You can't take that into the global city. You can't take that anywhere near those areas. They don't want you there. So tell me, how are you going to get rich in the commodities market where oil is involved? It's impossible. It is impossible. Let's talk about the earthquake. People have been asking me, did I feel it? And yes, I did. Okay, and what did it feel like? Here's what I recall, because I woke up from a drunken stupor. So here's where I was. I had one too many emperadores over ice, the most fantastic drink known to man and or woman. And so but it will fry your liver very quickly. But it's okay if you're my age and then all of a sudden you decide to partake, because you've lived your life. You've had a lot of laughs and giggles. You know, why not make the ride home a pleasant journey, right? Yeah, no, you can't have. It's a different type of fuel. It's a different type of fuel, but I bet you that Emperador will run your diesel Jeep. Oh my gosh, where does Dan come up with this stuff? LV. Oh, yes. Are you feeling lucky, LV? All right. The earthquake. Here's what I felt. It was like a sharp jolt. This is all that some people tell me they felt a shaking, a prolonged shaking motion. I did not. I felt a sharp. When I woke up, whatever dream I was having, or whatever I was doing, it was a sharp jolt like this, like this, and I go, oh, we just had an earthquake. And man, Minnie was sound asleep. She did not hear or see or feel anything. She didn't even detect me getting out of bed. Most times she wakes up just from me getting up to use the restroom, the CR. She will wake up, but she didn't during this. I don't know why. Don't rent by, just be a caretaker of the land exchange and work for them. Well, yes, you can do that. You can do that. I'm saying you need to keep the landlord engaged, and that's why I said that. That's why I said it's a good idea to be extra special to them. But yes, you're right about that. Be a good caretaker of the land. That's the most important part. I just threw to give them a little something to keep them interested, and not and to keep everything status quo. To keep a smile on their face. Where they go home to where they live, and they said, "Man, I got good people living on my land." Anna Mae is here. Anna Mae, what do you say? Where are you going to be today? Anna Mae's been to the Grand Canal, she tells me. Yes, indeed. She doesn't live too far from there, she tells me. If I didn't live too far from there, I probably would be taking a ride in one of those gondolas every single day. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. I would not. I'd be throwing stones at them. Every time I'd be up there on the second or the third floor, right, with those little pebble rocks, I'd be like this, hoisting them over the side to see if I could hit the gondola operator. It'd be like this. Where in the hell those mosquitoes are getting awfully big? Those mosquitoes. Prissy is here. Hi, Prissy. Another fine supporter. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Chris's Adventure, good morning. Oh, let me make some progress here down the chat. I apologize for skipping over. I can't read every comment. I cannot read every comment. Yeah, so renting, that's why I say renting is better than buying in today's economy, because you can walk away from it if you want to, and or you can negotiate lower rent. There are equitable markets in the United States. I just don't want to. I don't want to sell you. I could not, in good conscience, ever live in the state of California again, right? But I could live in different places around the United States that catch my attention, like Evansville, Indiana. I still love I adore upstate New York. I ran those two together, those two words, upstate and adore came to updoor. But it's the same thing. I love it there. I love upstate New York, rural areas. I love Colony. I like Schenectady. I like all that area up there. I like going up into the mountains, into the Catskills. Isn't there a place called St. George? I've been there. I've been a lot of places, folks. I'm telling you, there are very, very few places that I've been where I can't take you on a personal tour of it myself. City of New York, Long Island, New York, upstate New York, any place in California, for sure. At least some of the border towns in Mexico. It's difficult to follow the chat with the emoji on every line. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Tim, you and I were on the same page that way. All right, back off on the emojis. Let's do this, right? Listen. I'm ranting today. I know. I'm just trying to make it interesting. Anyway, we don't have 30 people here, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to draw for any kind of winner. But we're getting dang close to this pig thing, right? I have to disappear for a moment. I have to bend over because the pig is on the ground. Make up your own jokes, okay? I got to bend down here. I kind of feel bad for this piggy because we're going to have to slaughter it soon to find out how much money is in here. Oh, you can't. I'm too cute to slaughter. I'm too cute. Well, you are, but at least, we're going to have to operate some kind of way. We're gonna have to operate on you and get the money out of your belly. There's no way to do it. See, the hole's too small. Look, there's nothing. They made the bank. This is based on the glass bank where you just smash it on the ground. But I keep throwing this pig against the ground, and all I hear is a squealing pig. It doesn't crack open. It bounces all over the floor. It makes hella noise like this. Shit, stop it. Stop it. Earthquake. Yeah, the earthquake. So we felt the earthquake, and I don't think the numbers down there down in General Santos, it was a deep sea earthquake. So they were kind of lucky. It did some damage on land, and some people died, but we don't have numbers yet. I think it's a little bit more serious than the initial reports. If you can feel it all the way up here in Leyte, the island of Leyte, Bye City, it must have been a big one. Somewhere between 6.8 and 7.2 on the Richter scale, they're saying. Listen, if you have a ducat or two, send it over to the Philippine Red Cross because they're already there and they're already handing out water and food. I'll be doing that today. Gcash, I think, makes it easy to do. All right, here you go. Mr. Piggy. Mr. Piggy. All right, let's put money in the pig. How much do you think is in there? Okay, look I'm giving up a 50. I'm giving up a 50 today. 50. If you're keeping track, write it down. Dan's giving up a 50 today. Spank you, pig. Spank. 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 All right, the piggy's been stuffed. The piggy likes it. You saw the smile on Piggy's face. You saw the smile on Piggy's face. We just don't have 30 people here. I don't know how I'm going to give money away. We don't have 30 people here. And man, Minnie is going to be sorely disappointed. Yesterday, we had a winner. Yen won yesterday. I was able to get the money to her a lot sooner than I thought I would be able to. There's still plenty in here to draw from, but sometimes it's hard to give money away. What can I say? People don't want to. Plus, I didn't advertise I was coming to the chat. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I made a lot of mistakes this week, I should have been on every single day. I should have been on. Abby's here. Abby, it's so nice to see you. Chrissy's hanging in there. Anna May, always here. Loyal, very loyal, and very tiny. Do you know how tiny Anna May is? What does she come up to? Anna May, listen, I'm not funning with you, but you're like a Barbie doll. You're like a little Barbie. See, I met Anna May in person. She's cute as a button. She's about this tall. She's cute. Oh, Manolin is here. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm sorry we weren't able to get together, Anime. I'm sorry, others that are in the Manila area. I just realized it worked out just fine because I had all my my schedule was all messed up. My schedule was all messed up. It wouldn't have worked out. You would have been disappointed. Dan's the only man I know that admits he likes spanking his pigs. There's nothing wrong with beating a pig every once in a while. Tim. Well, there's so many jokes there, right, Tim? I'm only 5'2" and heights are down. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're a tiny little thing, 5'2". 5'2" is it really is a nice, it's a nice height for a woman, I think. Most women, is it not true that they're looking for a big, burly, strong man where men are man and sheep are afraid? Is that not true, Charam? Megan Gomez is here. I saw you come in a while ago, Megan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not saying hello to you. Anna Mae, you were taller than my mother and my oldest sister. Wow, they're tiny. No worries, Sir Dan. Not that many chatted to me. I know you're busy, and all the places you visited is you've been there already. Okay, throw it in my face. Throw it in my face, Anna Mae. I'm a beginner. But more travel is coming. Tim says girlfriend is 5'4". Wow, she's tall. She's very tall. Hey, Crystals, how tall are you? You're tall. Oh, well, but most of the time I was sitting down when Crystals was around when we were up in Pangasinan. So I don't know. I don't even know if I ever stood directly next to her like I did Anna Mae. Yeah. Mawelma's here. Mawelma, I'm falling down on my short videos. I'm gonna have to watch some more yours to get the hang of it. Yours and Pinky Gray. There. Oh, you know which one I want to do? Crystals. You know what short I've been thinking about? You know the rubber chicken eating the hamburger? I mean, can you imagine what that was like a stroke, if you will, of genius, right? Chicken eats burger, film at 11. That's news. That's global news. You know, what are you up to on that video? Are you up to like 1 million views yet? How do you get a million views on the short videos anyway? I don't even know how you do it. Dang, they're impossible. 5'7". Yeah, you're tall. You're tall. That's what hamburgers do to you at McDonald's. That's what they do. You know, the hormones in the burgers, they give you breasts and then they make you taller. And so that's why I have breasts, but I'm shrinking. They call me the incredible shrinking man. Tim, don't make a joke about that, Tim. They have a cute height, sir, she says. Are you feeling lucky, LV Rose? LV. Gosh, are you guys not going to get me to 30 people? Must I beg you to get me to 30 people so we can draw? You really want to listen to Dan rant and rave about stupid stuff for another hour? Nobody wants that in here. I don't think so. You know. All right, let me get another cup of coffee here. Coffee. Let's see what Tim says. That should be a chic filet commercial. Oh, a Chick-fil-A commercial. That's brilliant. Thanks for giving us that idea, Tim. We really appreciate it. I'm going to use that. I'm stealing that from you. I'm going to steal that from you. I'm still getting all kinds of requests for sponsorships. I don't know what demographic it is that they're looking at. I can't figure it out. I'm an intelligent guy. I keep looking over the analysis. I'm not sure what they're looking at. Someone tried to explain it to me. It does have to do with those short video content. It does. It's, but I'm not getting the views that Pinky Gray is getting for the that crane and the ball thing, right? I'm not getting those kind of views, and so she's getting like 1,000 a month in subscribers. I'm growing at 100, maybe 125 per month because of those short videos. I really appreciate the people that are supporting me on those shorts. But for crying out loud, how do you get 1,000 subscribers a month, Pink? And then you get those kind of views that you're getting on the little crane. And I had to say, I finally sent Pink a message. I said, Pink, send me the toy. She just smiled at me. You ain't getting this, Dan. You're dreaming. You're not getting this toy. No way. No way. Ma'am Minnie, where are you? Beth, where are you? Guys, I might have to actually get up and do something. I'm going to have to get up off of my butt and do something, guys. I got to run out there and get another cup of coffee. There's no one around here. to service me. I do have a short video of a chicken fighting a trike. Oh, who won? Did the chicken win or the trike? Man, Minnie, I need a coffee. I need a coffee, and I need you to stay close by because, yeah, I need you to stay close by because it looks like we might hit 30 viewers in just a moment. Yeah, I know. I did away with the timeline. Yeah, I can't stick to my own rules. That's what the problem with me is. I make up all these rules and I can't implement them. I can't stick to them.
I did not cooking. I did not.
What? Say what?
Coffee. Forgot.
Oh no! Do you have instant
instant.
coffee? Do you have instant like
Yes. Instant.
okay. All right. Instant. Instant it is. Diabetes in a cup it is for Dan. Okay. All right, let's see. Where else? We're at 25. We're going the wrong way. Good morning. Crystal says good morning. Anna Mae says good morning. She'll be back. She's going to go grab some, what's the kind of like the black? The instant coffee. What's the name of it, hon? The coffee that has black in the name. Copico Black. My favorite. Copico Black. She's gonna go grab that for me. And then if we get to 30, I got debits here that I'm trying to give away money. Why do you guys make it so hard for me to give away money? I know I've been inconsistent lately. We've been traveling around. It's difficult to carry all this crap all over the place. I don't like to do it. But I'll get it down so that we could use a couple of cell phones, just like some of you do. We'll start learning how to do this, and that way we can do live streams on the road. When we start doing the island hopping, start going. I think Bohol is like the first place we ought to go. I'm going to see if I got any friends on Bohol that will let us stay with them. At least stay on their, what do they call it? Their outdoor bamboo covered patio, or maybe their hut. Baha'i. What do you call it? The one I did a video on. What do you call that thing? Baha'i? The small shelter. I'm good with that. Folks, yeah. I've gotten a few emails where people have said, hey, Dan, get off the whole YouTube money thing. Get off of that whole thing. We know people are sucking wind. I'm just a keen observer. That's all. When people like Finn Snow and others start banging them out, video after video after video, day in, day out, day in, day out. They have to look to see when they were published, in order so you can view them in order so you don't miss out on anything. I love Finn Snow. I love the folks I mentioned, Critter Hunter and Finn Snow and others. But the reason why they're cranking them out, and that's because the revenue stream is dying. It's better just to ask people for money. Some people won't do it. Thank God I have an income stream, but it makes me nervous. Every time the checks hit the bank, I go, dang, I didn't earn this money, or did I? I have to reconcile it in my mind. One day it will go away. I start thinking like that. See, it's a very pessimistic way, instead of enjoying it, I do enjoy it in the moment. Party time, but then I start thinking, man, did I people would argue with me, and I'm going to get hate mail for saying this. I earned that money, Dan. I earned it. What are you talking about? I'm a brilliant investor, and the government is paying me back for my investment. And that's all I could do is just laugh at you. Because that ain't at all the way it works. No, at any time, the faucet can be turned off. And you turn that faucet off, and that's it. Folks, learn to pay cash for everything that you have, including if you get itchy for a car because you don't want to get wet, just you no longer want to get wet. You live in the Philippines. You want to avoid the rain. Listen, if you're one of those people, you save them. I'm not against people owning cars of any kind, diesel, polluters, or electric. It doesn't matter to me, you know. But if you have to finance it, you cannot afford to buy that car. If you have to finance it, if you have to buy it on time payments, the new motor, there's something wrong. You can't really afford it. See, everybody goes to work in the United States. They don't realize one thing. Millennials do. Millennials do. Every dollar that they earn is owed to somebody. See, millennials understand this. Guys my age, we don't. We don't think about it. Every dollar that is earned is owed. That's the United States. Ryder Adventures here. Ryder Adventure. Welcome, welcome. Ryder Adventures in the house. Every dollar earned. So that means why go to work? See, millennials understand this. Why even bother going to work if you're just working for the payment to pay off somebody else? You know, see, this is what so you got this guy in the United States, right? Dave Ramsey goes around telling people, you know, similar stories, you know, about you shouldn't be borrowing. You should only buy when you have the cash to buy. You know, and that's mostly the way it's done in the Philippines. So really, I'm talking to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir, as they say. I rarely go out of the house. Well, good. Then you don't need a car. You don't need a car because you're not going to get wet. So there. So I like. I'll cut it out because I'm making fun. I'm making a lot of fun about that. I mean, because it cracks me up when I hear, you know, I love the Philippines. I even love getting wet. I don't know what the difference. I will never own a car in the Philippines. I don't need one. I enjoy getting wet. So anyway, you pay cash for everything, and people just don't understand that every day that you go to work for that 8 or 10 or 12-hour shift, whatever it is, you earn money. You're earning debt per hour. In other words, all you're doing is servicing debt. And so that's the way it works in the States. Well, how about you go to work to put money in your pocket? How about that? There's a concept for you. Yeah, take a bar of soap in the shower. So that's a concept, right? A concept of working for money and then putting it in your pocket and keeping it there. Now there's an idea, you know, there's an idea that I can really latch on to. See, millennials know. I'm only giving you, we hit the 30. Millennials know I'm only giving you 4 hours a day of my time because I can't stand you otherwise. I love you for the first 4 hours and then I can't stand you the rest of the day. So why am I going to spend 8 hours a day sitting across a desk from you having to look at your stupid ass? Why am I going to spend 8 hours a day, right, saying things like, would you like to supersize that? Would you like fries with that? Doesn't make any sense. Folks, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Those of you who have worked in the fast food business, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not giving you 8 hours of my precious life. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to do it. You know, not for the purpose of paying off debt. You know, so if you're not paying off your own debt, you're paying off somebody else's debt. That's a fact. Someone tell me in here that it ain't true. Someone in here, I dare you. No, I'm just kidding. Let's draw. We're done. We're done with that kind of talk. I've scared everybody away. Let me take a sip of this. Mamini is here. That's a nice cup of coffee. That's a nice cup of instant. Mamini is here. Come on over and say hello to everybody. Let me see if I can get you in the shot here. There she is.
Good morning, everybody.
Folks, my beautiful wife is celebrating her birthday tomorrow. I hope
guys invited you.
Yeah, I hope that there's pig on the menu. Yeah, but it's raining like crazy here. I don't know if anybody's going to show up to the party. Happy birthday, Ma'am Minnie.
Thank you.
All right, she's going to pull the numbers for us. Let's see where we're at. I'm not really set up. We'll just fly it by the seat of our pants. Here it is. First number for 300 pesos. Oh, I like this
Hi,
number.
Sir Tame. Good morning.
I like this number.
Thank you.
Wow, I don't believe it. Guess whose number it is? Edward D. Beck, number 28. Number 28,
Hi,
Edward
thank
D.
you.
Beck. If he's here, listening in the
Hi,
background. I haven't
Kristen.
seen Edward D. in a while.
Thank you, Gray.
First call out, first shout out for Edward D. Beck. Must be present to win. Angelica has been there. Angelica's in the background. Advance happy birthday, man, Minnie.
Thank you. I can't
Second
read.
call
What is
out.
this? I can't read.
Second call out, number 28. Edward D. Beck.
It's too
Must
small.
be present to win. Third call out. Edward
Thanks for
D.
the
Beck.
greetings, guys.
Must be present to win.
Thank you, LB.
Fourth call out. Edward D. Beck, number 28. Must be present to win. Fifth and final call out for Edward D. Beck. Must be present to win. All right, Edward has
Thank you, Charmy.
been missing in action for a couple of days. We hope that he's doing all right. I did see him make a comment in one of my short videos, and so I know he's around. I know Edward D. Beck is around somewhere. Zach Bucci's here. Megan's here hanging in with us. 29 million people here. Next one is, oh, wow. This is a pretty high number. Let me see. It's 135. 135. 135. 135. Perry. Prissy. Prissy's here. 135. Prissy. Manzanero. Pressy. 135. Must be present to win. Well, there you are. Just say present. Yeah, she said present. Yay! We gave it away. We gave the money away. We gave it away quickly. Mammy and I would like to thank everybody for your participation and support on our channel. We truly appreciate it. We will never, as Sunshine Shoulders said,
Welcome to our
we
house
will
tour,
never
guys.
take your support for granted. We're going to keep giving and giving
Yeah,
and
party,
giving
party.
until there's nothing left to give. We're going to give until it hurts. Giving is not very painful, though, I must tell you. So, Mammy and I, we're going to head off to Parts Unknown. I'm going to go probably sit in front of the TV and watch YouTube for the rest of the day and take it easy while they prepare for tomorrow's celebration.
Hi, Sir Larry.
And Larry
Good
is
morning.
taking us out of this live. Larry, let me put you up on the screen, on the big screen here. Here you go.
Yeah.
There you go,
like
right
that,
there. He's right there. We're ready for you to read it.
It's very tiny now.
Okay, you see it right there? You
Yeah,
can go
no,
ahead and
good.
read it. We're waiting for you to read it, ma'am, Minnie.
Remember to be kind to each other. Take care of yourself. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun.
Yes, and happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
ma'am, Minnie.
Thank you,
And we'll see everybody in the next live, and I'll make sure I announce it in plenty of
Guys,
time so we get a lot more people here. We're out in 5, 4, 3,